what's going on, everybody? I'm Bree, and you are tuned into Max 10. I am joined by my co-host, Mr. David. That's right. Go ahead.
That's right. I'm David. I'm Bree's favorite dimple. I'm gonna start calling myself that.
Well, my favorite dimple. We are also joined by the one and only Mikquell Jackson from the Michigan Avengers, aka Quell. Can we use Quell for the interview?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Better known as Hollywood.
Hollywood. Please say the Hollywood.
Yeah, from the Michigan Avengers. Did you hear that, David?
Undefeated. Don't forget that one either.
And we about to get to that. Absolutely, because that's what I wanted to start off with. So you guys are undefeated. You're the number one team in your 10-0. Tell me, what is it that's working for you guys this season that's putting you in the position to be top dogs in your division?
It's always just been playing together. The camaraderie, the chemistry we have has always been unbelievable. From the first season to here it is, our third season, we've always been able to bite down and just be together. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, we sacrifice for one another.
Now, you've been with this team, as you said, for 3 years, 3 seasons. What keeps you with the Avengers? There's other teams in your division, obviously, that you could, go and be with and help assist with making great, but why the Avengers?
Because it was something we kind of started from scratch. My coach called me. It was kind of a conversation between me and him that he wanted to build something from the ground up. So it was like I wasn't going to nobody else's team making them better. I wanted to start from out the mud, basically. So everybody I got around me, I kind of assembled to myself. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, guys, I feel like that's going to fit the role that I need them to fit and play the way that I need them to play. And it was like they complement my game and I can complement their game. So it was better to start from scratch and build on your own.
I like that. We get it out the mud out here in the D. What you got to say about that, David, from Dallas?
Oh my God. First and foremost, before we go any further in this conversation, the D is Dallas. It's not Detroit. So y'all let that go right now.
No.
Let it go right now.
Y'all are D-town. We the D.
This is what you do. You make a fist like this. Make a fist. Put the fist in the cage and let it go, because that is not happening.
No, we make the fist and we do that because we don't.
That's crazy that y'all just gonna punch for no reason. But okay.
We're always submitting, bro. We're always submitting. Always.
So on a great pun that I just thought of, so you assembled the Avengers? Boom.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy I was able to say that. So I don't do ESPN. I'm sorry. Who is your division easy like the other dude? The other dude said his division was terrible. I did not forget that. The other dude said his division was terrible. Is y'all division terrible? Or y'all play Chicago Fury sometimes, and then that's about it? Or
we played the Fury. No, I think we got a couple teams in our division that's pretty good. I just feel like we're better.
Way better or a little bit better?
No, we're way better. I mean, I think one of our problems is we play down in our competition. That's for sure. So the score may never show how better we are, but I definitely think there's at least 3 teams in here that I like alone that is tough. Like,
what are those teams? Like, what 3 teams have given y'all the most competition?
Another Michigan team, the Wayne County Roadrunners. They're really tough. Chicago always gives us a battle. The Legends, they always give us a battle. And then the Fury was pretty good. Not the Fusion, but there's another team that was pretty good. And I think they dropped out, though. I'm not even sure, but I think they dropped out. But so we had about 4 or 5 teams that's in this division so far that done gave us like, okay, this was a pretty good game.
Now, you know what? I want to talk real quick about the Legends because I think it was this past season, if I'm not mistaken, when you guys played in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you come off being champions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prior to, then you come into playing the Legends. And there was a sloppy, lazy pass that was made that kind of, they were able to capitalize off of that, right? So I want to know, what was the play that you all were going to run, and would it have been efficient enough to secure a win in that situation?
So I'll walk you through it. At first, it was the way we traveled was just in ourself was kind of messed up. We got down there like the day of the tournament, so it was like dealing with how you get down there and not really resting your body the proper way. All that stuff came into effect once we played. But the play we were drawing was to get the big in, catching the ball. He was going to lob it up to the other big, let him finish over the top. If he missed, then worst case scenario, we're going to a second overtime. But because the pass was initially sloppy, then the offensive player didn't meet the pass, you know what I'm saying, to make up for the sloppy pass. It was just kind of like a trickle down effect. One bad pass to a steal to a layup. It's game after that.
Man.
I say this though.
Pass?
I say this though. I think
nah.
My sources have told me who threw the pass now.
Who threw the pass?
At the end of the day, that's my fault. I should have never put my team in a position in that position to be like that.
You threw the pass?
No. I had fouled out the game.
Yeah, he had fouled out the game. It wasn't him. But do you see how we did you see how we take accountability? We're thumb pointers. We don't point fingers. We point back. Just wanted to acknowledge that.
Who?
We're thumb pointers. In other words, we can take accountability.
Like who?
Like us two at the top. You don't know about.
Who cares? Nobody cares.
You want to put
who threw the pass? No, you fouled out.
Like you just said, who cares? Who cares who threw the pass?
I do. That I can answer that. I care. I don't know. Look, who threw the pass, and are you trusting him again? Or
Absolutely.
was he in because he fouled out?
No. So we end up only going to Vegas for like 7 people anyway. So we didn't have a full roster going to Vegas. We only played with 7 people. We only went with like 7 people. So I mean, outside of me taking accountability for it, I still trust him. I mean, he's still on the team right now to this day. We still, run and let him make whatever plays he feels that he want to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, and that's why I was saying in the beginning, we trust each other. That's how we work. We sacrifice, like I sacrifice my game for the next man and the next man, and it keeps going down the line. So it don't matter that that's last year. We right back in the same situation where we undefeated.
Absolutely.
All 3 seasons, this is what we're used to winning. So I mean, with outside of that one mishap, which that loss is what really cost us another back-to-back championship. We right back in the same situation. So
now, since it wasn't a back-to-back, do you think that you guys have what it takes, recognizing the mistakes from last season, to be able to go ahead and become champions again this season?
Absolutely.
David, I feel go ahead, because I know you got something up your sleeve.
So y'all beating everybody, basically.
Absolutely.
No competition. Not Stanberry. Not
see.
Pasta
I
Man.
think
Nobody.
I think that having competition and just being better is different. Like, I feel like there's a lot of teams competition like that's competitive, but I don't see like us losing. And I done been to Dallas quite a few times because I know you're gonna bring up your city. I done been down there. I just want to let you know. I just want it out there that I've been to Texas a couple times, and they know, they know. And the Texas team was tough. Don't get me wrong, they were tough. They were triple teaming me the whole game. They were trying to foul me out, and I wasn't even down there to get the foul, but they was calling my number. But I respect them guys. Y'all play hard. Y'all just don't play no defense. Y'all play a lot of offense.
Ooh. Now, I want to because I know you want to say, I want to interject right there. There were 2 things that you said that I want to address. The first thing is them basically not having any defense. You lead the league in steals right now with 21 steals overall, right? You also have a great average in terms of your points. I believe you're like you're 3rd in assists, but seeing that you can play both sides of the ball, clearly you can play both sides of the ball. Which do you prefer? Are you more offensive minded or is defense? Do you like locking people down or do you prefer giving people buckets?
I prefer doing both. I think the defensive come first because that's where I've always been like known for. Like, I'm going to play defense first. But if it's one thing that ticked me off, because I am an older guy in a much younger league, it's when a person be like, "Oh, I got old head." Like, old head, what?
Respect.
and then now I just run off 20, and then everybody like, "Oh, y'all treating him like he LeBron or like he Jordan," and it's like, no, you just can't check him. Like, that's just what it boiled down to. I just wasn't trying to go there with y'all. I was trying to let y'all enjoy this game. But since you want to talk about old head now, I'll just show you what old head do.
I feel so in sense that, okay, I feel like I'm my bad. Go ahead, Dave, because I got a question I want to ask about that. But you go ahead.
No, childish note. I do remember you coming down here. Think you played with y'all call him AWOL, I call him Aramis, whichever one y'all
Yeah,
want to call him.
yeah.
You played in the SBL. I remember that.
Oh yeah, in his little league, I was just down there just boiling that day. I wasn't trying to
Yeah,
come in and take over, you know what I'm saying, what everybody had going on, but and I knew that all eyes was on me. They was waiting for me to do something spectacular, but I'm like, no, I ain't even trying to go there with y'all
he
today.
hyped you up. He definitely.
He
I got
did.
my
I know
boy
he
from. He
did.
got my
Listen, when I
boy from
walked
Detroit
in,
coming down here. I was like, oh,
listen, when I walked in, the guys was watching me like whoever he is, we got to stay and watch him.
He Hollywood.
that-
That's Hollywood Quill. You ain't know?
oh my God, the
Everybody
hype
love
is
Hollywood.
crazy. You
Everybody
are
want to see
excited.
Hollywood.
It's well, look, but I put in for that. Like that's it's who I am, man.
Now, now let me ask you this, because you did mention being an older guy playing, your skill level is still at an immaculate level, but how does it feel to play in a league now, being that I'll say more seasoned player versus playing with a lot of younger guys?
Um, to me, I feel like from a younger perspective, if I was young, I feel embarrassed because ain't no way this old guy should be in the like running up and down the court with us. But because young people don't use their mental, they just try to use their skill.
Yeah.
They don't think the game. So it's like the stuff we learned in college and high school, jumping ball side when the ball, like I do that. So it take away half of the struggle of having to honestly like play defense. Like I just play smarter. I ain't steady trying to go back and forth with these guys that's dribbling for 42 seconds and then trying to get a shot off. That's stupid. So I just jump ball side. Like I do the smart things and beat half of the guys down the court just off mental.
I like that.
I personally, my own personal self, I don't think any team's got to go through what teams got to go through down here. Like, y'all may have a couple of teams. I've been keeping up with the NBA for maybe about 3 years, and every time I see the top, well, first it was top 25, now it's top 10. It was like, yeah, but every time I see that, it'd be like 5 or 6 Dallas teams that have to cancel each other out to go, anywhere else. I personally don't feel like no division, before you say what about no division, has to go through what the Dallas teams have to go through to get there. And I ain't gonna say it's a cakewalk because y'all, I make my jokes and I talk my shenanigans, but I'm not oblivious. I know that y'all got the legends and all them up there. I'm not no idiot, but I don't think
So
y'all go through what they
so
go through down here.
let me piggyback off that, right? So I feel like I said, you guys do got some tough teams, but here's why I say I separate my team from the league itself is because like in the first year we took that challenge. We went to teams that wanted to play us, and we went to them and played them at their house. You know what I'm saying? So it's never been like, oh well, you guys only play the people in y'all region, or y'all only stay here, y'all only do that. Like we've been to Texas a few times. We done been to Atlanta. We done been to Indiana. We done been to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So we've been around and we've traveled to prove who we are. You know what I'm saying? And if any teams that watches this and they want to come and play us, by all means, I feel like being at the top of that mountain, you know, we shouldn't have to travel no more. So if it's any Texas teams, if it's any Minnesota teams or any other teams that want to come play us, listen, we don't run from anything.
So you
we
saying
we
you
we welcome we welcome
I
all.
do think
I tell my coach every year, like, I'm always willing to travel and play because I think that you find the best competition when you go elsewhere because again, you don't know these guys, that they don't know you, so it's really just strategically playing each other. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, oh, we don't watch y'all play 4 times, we know how to beat y'all, or we done played y'all 2 times, so we know what to expect. Like I say, the legends are tough, but it's getting boring. Like, okay, we done played y'all 4 times, bro. Like, I would rather play somebody else. I mean, not just this year, but just in the past seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like we done met,
oh
and that's been like our game to look forward to after a while. Outside of the first season, like that championship game, that Dallas team was tough, man. Them guys was, I believe the shortest guy was like 6'4". Like
Dallas
that,
team.
yeah. I want, who was it? Was it DFW hoops or something like that?
Oh, just hoops. The
Yeah.
crazy thing about that is look, y'all won. I'm not one for the whole. The crazy thing about that is there was a money tournament that same day that happened down there. I think y'all got them on like they fourth, fifth game of the day.
Oh,
So they
that's tough.
retired, is what you're saying.
Huh?
That's tough.
They retired, is
That's
it?
tough.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't me personally, I didn't know. Like I don't even think Aaron knew. A lot of people didn't know that it was a random money tournament. They usually happen in like June. And I'm like, okay. But then I'm like, why are y'all playing like this? It was like, yeah, this our fifth game. I'm like, oh y'all wild. I couldn't be me. I ain't doing that.
So,
But
I mean,
do you think that because and I think that this has been talks amongst the league for this season and again, sources are saying that this is potential for next season, but like if you could play any team or any two teams outside of your current like region and division, what teams would you want to play? Would it be, Dallas based since you've played them? Would it be a team maybe from the Northeast division? Like how would you want to see that play out?
for me, now I'm not familiar with all the teams, but um, I'm only familiar with the guys that do the talking. So like if somebody says that they're great, that's why I want to go play. Because to me, it's like now I want to see if you really land like what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So just based off the interviews and what I hear, the guy from
New
last
York?
week with the dreads,
Was that Tennessee Templars? I think.
No,
him. I
no, no,
definitely
no.
want to.
He's talking about Jonathan, I think.
Oh,
No. The
Jonathan
one
Greenfield.
she's saying. No, the one the guy from down south. Yeah,
Oh,
he
Okay.
was saying
George,
he from
okay.
Mississippi
Yeah.
or something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
him.
because they had played.
Listen. New
Yeah.
York, absolutely. It's there's a guy up there talking real crazy. Um, and not in a sense of like disrespectfully, but just
Right.
that they're who they are.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always been a prove it to me type guy. Like you got to prove it to me. If you get the best of me, then I'll give you props. But until that happens, I'm him.
Hey.
I hope Dallas travels well. It's the only knock on the South. They don't travel well.
And
And
I
I
heard, yep,
hate
yep,
that.
I heard that, yep. And that's
I hate that.
but that's why in the first year we went down there. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been down there like 4 times. Like, we went down there for the when it first started, they were doing that. It was like they had the multiple games on the court. Like they had
Yeah.
like multiple games going on the sides. So it was like two or three games at a time. We went down there for that. We couldn't stay to play the championship, so we ended up like forfeiting our match or whatever. But um, so we have been down there quite a few times. We done played some Dallas squads and some, you know what I'm saying, from around the way. So like I said, I don't think it's never a situation where I wouldn't travel. I love traveling. I love going to play different competition. Like
Now
By
let
the
it,
way, update for you since you missed the little side podcast. The Gorillas lost yesterday.
did
they
they?
sure did by
They
two
lost to the
points, I think.
Prowlers. They lost to the Prowlers.
Shut up. What? Oh my God.
It was
Wow.
119, 118 or something.
Yep. 1 point
Oh,
overtime.
dog. I wish I was there for that. I really wanted to be there for that. That was a game. That was a
It
game.
was a it was a really, really good one to be honest with you. And you missed.
Did anybody report that game? Sorry, I couldn't catch that flight. I don't do Spirit.
Uh
Oh, at
and that's
all.
you gotta have spirit to do spirit. You got your herd there, you had your one dimple, you weren't committed. But uh I think Airman's went live, so it might be somewhere in there. I wasn't going live. I don't like holding the phone that long.
What I would like to see is more travel. I want to see people from the Midwest playing people from the Northeast or Southeast. Like that way you can kind of gauge the competition and see where people, you know what I'm saying, really are. You're dominant in your division, but you're also dominant in the league. Again, leading the league in steals. Like, I
I
guess.
think. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I think that's been a problem lately with a lot of teams. Though traveling is super expensive. You know what I'm saying? And to put in perspective, we're all doing this on our free time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like normally we'll have to pay for our own travel. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to pay for our own room and board. Like that stuff get kind of costly. And like for me, I always travel with my family. You know what I'm saying? Like overnight trip or 2-day trip or a weekend trip, like whatever it is, I'm always traveling with my family. So it's like it's not only costly for me, but it's like, okay, now I have to do this 4 ways. You see what I'm saying? So traveling has always been a tough part, and I think that's why I said that it's kind of tough because, like you said, the Dallas team don't really travel well. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the only team. Like we got a few teams in my division that dropped out because their traveling is different. Like guys is not committed to traveling, but they'll do a lot of home games. You know what I'm saying? So when you're doing it on your own dime, it get kind of costly. 14 games, 7 of them is away, and most of them you have to take either a bus or, you know what I'm saying, a plane ticket to get there, then hotel and all that. That stuff definitely get costly. But I do think, and I was going to pitch the airmen, or, you know what I'm saying, to the owners, that we at least need to have like one outer division game a season. You know what I'm saying? Like every season, like at least one. And whether it's, you know, Midwest going to I was saying two, but for sure at least one, like whether we go one place and then maybe somebody else come here, or, you know what I'm saying, but it has to be something to where everybody is getting out because like I said, at the end of the day, it's about gaining a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? The basketball, the competition and all that, that's fine, but you never know when we in each other's city where, like, okay, well, you know, he might not be my man or my friend, but I know I can be like, yo, I'm stuck in Detroit, bro. Whatever the situation is, look out for me or help me out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me show you this, what you can do. Here's the area you can hang in. Don't go to this area, blah, blah. Same vice versa. I might be in Dallas or I could be in Chicago or anything, you know what I'm saying? But I can reach out to one of the dudes that I know I played against. And just having that brothership, that own, like our own fraternity type thing, that stuff is, to me, is about building relationships. The basketball is just the bridge to it. But it, to me, for real, it's building a relationship.
I love that. And we got about 3 minutes left, guys. So if y'all want to get in your final thoughts or final shenanigans, go right on ahead.
The way the shenanigans works, I'm giving everybody the key to my shenanigans. The way the shenanigans works is most people are reluctant to buy into the shenanigans, which makes my shenanigans way better. But he wasn't reluctant to buy into the shenanigans. He was with the shenanigans, which made me like, okay,
Because
well,
we don't back down. You heard what he said.
Look. I'm trying to give you credit, and you overstepping. Now. You gotta relax.
I gotta throw my shenanigans in there now. Now I gotta talk a little.
I'm telling you different when your dimple showing. That's crazy. You different with the dimple. That's crazy.
It was showing last week. Y'all see, you just wasn't paying attention. You didn't see it.
Yeah. So you blurred out the background, so now he really is focused right there, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. She put the dimple in the camera. She was like,
you
been
see
talking
it?
on tilt the whole game, the whole time, like this. But